Hey guys, welcome back to my Daily News X Auto Edition, where we break down the biggest stories in the car war, what's going wrong, who's feeling it, and how you can steer clear of bad deals. Well, I'm your host Kramer, bringing you a focused, crowd-oriented take on the auto market collapse. Today, we dig into why dealers are struggling to sell new cars, who's getting hit the hardest, what's the latest numbers say, and practical tips you need if you're car shopping now. So what's going on? What's happening? Well, let me tell you something. The car market is under a lot of stress right now, guys. So dealers aren't moving new cars like they used to back in the time. So that means some lots are full of inventory that is just sitting there. Now the big question is why? Well, here's a couple of reasons why, and I'm gonna explain to you so you can understand better. Number one reason is affordability and high interest rates. Even if you want a new car, financing is expensive. That means monthly payments are up because interest rates remain elevated, so many buyers are being priced out. Another reason, tariffs pressure, supply chain and cost inflation. Auto parts, especially imported ones, face tariffs or higher import costs. That means manufacturers are more cautious about pushing inventory into the next channel. Another reason is overproduction or misaligned inventory, because some brands make too many or certain models or options that consumers don't want now. That means dealers end up stuck with slow-selling models. Another good reason is shifting consumer preferences and economic uncertainty, because people are delaying purchases in the face of uncertain markets, inflation, or macroeconomic worries. Also, with the rising costs in other areas, for example, housing and energy. So buying a new car is further down the priority list right now. Lastly, EV incentives and regulatory shifts. Some automakers are pulling back on revising EV plans in response to changes in subsidies and consumer adoption slower than expected. Now, I'm going to mention a couple of things that are going to be very important. And this is, I'm going to throw you hard data, and I'm going to mention also a couple of names of big companies that are under a lot of pressure. But first, let's ground this in numbers. New vehicle inventory in the US just dropped to 2.49 million units in early May 2025. That's a 7.4 decline month over month. Average listing price for new vehicles is $48,656, which is compared to the prior year. In May 2025, new auto sales dropped about 3.5% year on year. US auto sales fell 300,000 units in June, sliding from a 15.6 million units annualized rate to 15.3 million. Some forecasts to see US new vehicle sales for full 2025 even dropping more to 14.6 million units. Now, like I mentioned before, as for companies under strain and a lot of pressure, we have big companies in trouble, starting with Stellantis, which is seeing a weak demand in parts of its portfolio, global restructuring, and leadership shakeups. Another huge company in trouble is Tesla. It's under a lot of pressure. Its US EV market share has dropped to its lowest point since 2017. Also, several automakers are scaling back or postponing EV projects in the US. This is in response to weakening demand and fading incentives. On the retail side, used car platforms like Vroom Inc. had to wind down its e-commerce auto sales, operating amid financial stress. The lastly is Starr Fisker has had several financial issues, including potential bankruptcy and suspension of production, as it struggles in a volatile environment. So it's not just a small dealer, guys. It's ripping through OEMs, EV players, and car tech ventures. Now, the big question here is, what can consumers should watch out for? And how can they protect themselves? If you're in the market, here's what you need to be mindful of. Please don't accept sticker, take it or leave it pricings. In a softer market, many dealers will negotiate, especially on overstock 2025 models. Check vehicle history, incentives, rebates. Make sure any rebates or incentives are real and apply to your region. Some incentives are tiered or limited quotas. Also, be cautious with financial ideas. Higher interest rates and hidden fees can make you seemingly good deal, but much more worse over the time. Always run the full payment math over the long term. Avoiding too many extras. For example, dealers may do push-ups, add-ons, for example, paint protection, extended warranty, and so on. You get the picture, right? This is just to pad margins. So insist on clarity and itemized breakdown. It always works. Know your walkaway price. Don't stick to one single dealer, if they don't give you the right deal or the salesperson is being too greedy. Come on. Set a ceiling on your mind based on research. Don't get caught up in an emotional upsells. Please use independent inspections or third-party verification programs. They're very useful. For used or older cars, get an independent mechanic because he can make sure your car's working fine, that it's running the last automation stuff, that your car is working very fine basically. So he's the one who tells you, hey, this is good, you're good to go, you can buy it. That way you can close in your contract. Be flexible on color, trim, features. The more flexible you are, the more leverage you get in picking from your dealer inventory. Now, these are some really good tips I can give to buyers and some alternatives. If you're serious about buying, here are some practical tips and options beyond traditional dealer lot. Number 1, look for the last year models, because dealers often want to clear the 2025 inventory as 2026 models arrive. So that's a clear path right there, guys. That's your chance not only to negotiate, but also to come strong with a really good deal. Explore leasing or short-term loan. Sometimes it works. Sometimes not owning your car could be an advantage. You never know. So leasing can reduce monthly costs and give you more flexibility through terms vary. Consider certified pre-owned, or better called CPO, or high-qualified used cars. The used market might offer much more value if new cars deals are weak. Buy from independent or specialty dealers. Sometimes they may have lower overheads and they can also be more motivated to move stock. Use broker ordering, or better call direct factory ordering. If dealers or inventories don't match what you want, especially because ordering directly or via a broker can bypass markup layers, believe it or not. Watch for policy changes and incentives. For example, EV tax credits, state programs, or local incentives may shift. So timing your purchase around these changes can save you a lot of money. Yeah, man, so you guys have to shop smart. That's what I'm saying. You gotta make the right decisions when it comes to cars, because you're gonna be stuck with that car, think about it, 5 to 7 years. Depends on the long term, the interest rate, and especially sometimes the salesperson has a lot to do with it, because these people use a couple of different tricks, believe it or not, to get the sale done. And that's the part you have to avoid and be careful. So to wrap this up, guys, today's episode of my Daily News X Auto Edition, the market is under a lot of strain, and dealers aren't immune to what's happening. So don't get intimidated. Be informed, because informed consumers shop smart. This also moment brings a lot of opportunity for you if you do your homework. So please stay patient and push back on hard deals and weak deals. If you like this post, please subscribe or drop me a message with what you want me to cover for the next episode. Please do me a favor and drive safe, shop smart, and I'll talk to you soon in the next episode. Have yourself a great day.